In Virginia, a teacher is arrested for being high on drugs in her second grade classroom.
Nice.
In New York City, a man is caught and arrested after sucker punching actor Steve Buscemi on a New York street. And Mexican cartels are now operating in all 50 states, according to the DEA.
There you have it.
These stories and more coming at you today, Thursday, May 23rd on Real Life Real Crime Daily, and I'm Jim Chapman.
I'm Woody Overton. Thirsty Thursday. I'm still hurting from Saturday night at O'Hara's Pub. Yeah. And but we hope y'all have a great Thirsty Thursday. I mean, summer is definitely upon us.
It is, and the drinks are flowing over there at O'Hara's.
It's flowing at O'Hara's, ice cold beer. But the kids are getting out of school, and all that stuff's going on. So
graduations, and
it'll take less time to get to studio in the mornings because I don't have to go through all the school zones.
Yeah, it's true,
and all that. But I can remember, wow, I don't even know how many years ago it was, but getting out. But I had already signed up for the military and left in August, so I had a summer of fun before I left, and I paid for it every day when I was in the military, but it is what it is. But let's get down to some true crime time for Thirsty Thursday.
All right, and we're going to start out in Virginia. A second grade teacher at a Virginia elementary school was arrested after the school resource officer found her to be high on drugs in the classroom.
Nice.
She didn't just have drugs in the classroom. Right. She was high on the drugs. Yeah. The school resource officer at Spotswood Elementary School in Fredericksburg found that Candace Carter, 35, appeared to be under the influence of drugs at the school. Further investigation turned up suspected narcotics in her classroom as well. Carter, a Spotsylvania resident, was arrested for felony possession of Schedule 1 and 2 narcotics, felony child endangerment, and felony child neglect or abuse. And I'm going to tell you what, those are some serious charges.
Yeah, she's fucked.
During the incident, Carter's husband was found in the school parking lot in a vehicle, also under the influence of suspected narcotics. So much so, he required medical attention.
Right.
A 2-year-old child was found in the vehicle with the husband, identified as 34-year-old Christopher Carter, also from Spotsylvania. He was arrested for felony child endangerment and felony child neglect or abuse. Both Carters have been incarcerated at the regional jail, and Candace Carter is being held without bond. Christopher Carter is in jail in an under $5,000 bond. No students reported injuries or exposure, but were checked by medical personnel out of abundance of caution. Right. And the classroom was professionally cleaned. Spotsylvania Social Services, and the school administration assisted the sheriff's office with the arrest. That was Fox News that reported that. Crazy things going on with teachers.
Man, just last week I reported on one where a teacher was not only drunk in her classroom, one of the kids was drinking out of the cup and thought it was Mountain Dew, but then realized it wasn't. I'm like, my wife was a teacher until I was able to retire out for Real Life Real Crime, but what the fuck?
Well,
is your day so bad that you got to just get fucked up?
You can't wait.
Teaching kids,
you gotta have them drugs first thing in the morning,
early in the morning, and that's how we make it through our day, right?
Yeah, and the people that hate this the most are teachers.
Yeah.
Good teachers. They can't stand it because there's a lot of good ones out there.
Just like the good cops hate the bad cops, but it goes on and on. And, I wonder if it's probably not, maybe so with the fentanyl and shit like that, but probably not more prevalent than it was when even we were in school. Who knows what teacher of ours had a brown bag in their desk just to get through the day, right?
That's
God
true.
Damn, here comes Woody Overton again. I better get a sip.
I'm going to need 2 shots for this class.
2 shots for this class.
5th hour.
And beat his ass. But I don't know, man. And then, just absolute position of trust. And when your husband's hanging out in the parking lot?
In the parking lot?
With a kid in a car?
Yeah.
Yeah. Figure it out. But it's the drugs and everything. What I was saying is I think it's more we get news is instantaneous now. Everybody has it and you get to post it, but it doesn't make it any less whatever bad, I guess you would say.
No
but,
doubt.
let's talk about how these drugs get into these schools and prisons and neighborhoods and all that stuff. And the DEA actually came out and made a statement about this. Mm-hmm. And they said Mexico's most powerful and ruthless cartels operate in all 50 states and clash in American cities. And that's according to the DEA, and they released it just now in a May report. The Jalisco and Sinaloa cartels have flooded major U.S. cities with meth and fentanyl, and naturally, they use violence to protect their turf.
And of course, the Sinaloa cartel is your boy El
Chapo.
El Chapo.
But they splitting up and whatever. I guess they're fighting each other or kicking out the local crack dealer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just law of supply and demand. But the deadly reach of the Mexican Sinaloa and Jalisco cartels into U.S. communities is extended by the wholesale level traffickers and street dealers bringing the cartels' drugs to market, sometimes creating their own deadly drug mixtures. And this according to the DA report. But I did a story last week about a husband and wife team out of Tennessee who were like dealing large quantities of meth and coke and shit.
Yeah.
But they called them in Texas and they got in a shootout with the police and they killed them. But they had $4.3 million worth of kilos that they were bringing back, right? And that's what 4.3 that's in there. You mix that with the fentanyl, that's probably worth 20 million, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? They're not getting all those kilos from Joe Blow on the street corner. They're getting it from the Mexican cartels.
Yeah.
So together, the Sinaloa and Jalisco cartels have caused the worst drug crisis in U.S. history, and I totally believe that. And the DEA's National Drug Threat Assessment Report details the cartels' leadership structures, the areas they control, how they operate, and their global reach beyond Mexico and the U.S. So they're in other countries too, right?
Yeah.
And if your model works, spread it. It's like Walmart. Put one in every small town. But synthetic drugs like fentanyl are more potent than plant-based drugs, cheaper to make and easier to move, which allows both cartels to infiltrate American and control all aspects of the drug trade from production to delivery.
Yeah.
So they cut out the middleman, right? Sinaloa and Jalisco have effectively eliminated any competition in the U.S. markets and dictate the flow of nearly all illicit drugs into the country. And again, this is according to DEA report, y'all, which notes that thousands of cartel-linked dealers currently operate in the U.S. So going on. Last week, the Skittles man, whose real name is...
The Skittles man.
Right. His real name is Roque Bustamante, was one of 7 Sinaloa cartel members arrested in Florida for supplying thousands of Mexican-made fentanyl pills, according to federal prosecutors. Just don't stop.
Yeah.
Making that money.
Getting them Skittles.
The notorious nickname was created because he allegedly sold large supplies of rainbow-colored fentanyl pills. the fentanyl man, right? I mean, the Skittles man.
Skittles man.
So an undercover law enforcement operation also busted the cartel members arranging a weapons smuggling operation into Mexico, including 50 caliber high-powered rifles.
Jesus Christ.
There's nothing you're doing with that.
Yeah.
Killing. And then now, get this is going
And
back.
the problem is the police have to fight against that high-powered rifle, right?
They're already. You can have on a bulletproof vest with the high ballistic plates in the front and back, 50 caliber still killing you.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the Mexico doesn't have access to firearms like we do. So the firearms are going that direction so they can fight each other along with the cash, right?
Right.
The dope comes everywhere else. But during the investigation, the DEA seized about 21 kilos, that's like 2.5 pounds a kilo, y'all, of pure fentanyl, 70,000 rainbow-colored fentanyl pills, 3,000 M30 blue fentanyl pills, 243 pounds of crystal meth. This isn't one seizure.
That's a lot.
But it's not over. They also got 2 kilos of cocaine and 24 guns, including 18 rifles and 6 pistols. And y'all, there'll be those 50 calibers, but I'm sure a lot of AK-47s and shit. But in late April, 12 traffickers tied to the Jalisco cartel were sentenced to 4.5 to 40 years in federal prison after they were busted in Del Rio, Texas in 2021. You know, if you don't know where that is, it's in the asshole middle of nowhere, a border town. Like, I don't even think they have a radio station worse.
Yeah.
But they were busted and sentenced for coordinating the shipment of nearly 200 kilos of liquid meth worth $9.9 million. That's before they cut it. Over the course of that particular investigation, law enforcement seized about 650 kilos of methamphetamine. I mean, you talk about a gram will fuck you up for like a day.
Yeah, that's
and a
load.
They also got 17 guns, $220,000 plus in cash, and $12,200 in real and personal property. And this, according to the North Texas prosecutors. There were already nearly 38,000 fentanyl-related deaths in the first 6 months of 2023, according to the DA report. And fentanyl is the deadliest threat the U.S. has ever faced, the report says.
100%.
Fentanyl and other synthetic drugs like methamphetamine are responsible for nearly all the fatal drug overdoses and poison in our country. And you just talk about that for a second. I know so many people, and one guy, I'm not going to say his name, was a young kid. This dude was so smart, Jim. He graduated from LSU and his master's in business, and he didn't hunt. Everybody else would be hunting, and I'd sit in my bar and drink, right? Yeah. It was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, just hang up. He was so smart. This kid was just like fucking genius. He took a Xanax, and it was fentanyl, and it killed him.
Oh my God.
He was like 22 or 23 years old. So rest in peace to him. I think everybody knows someone who's been affected by this, right?
Yeah, and it takes a grain.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like the story we tell about Billy Amy searching that car, and he got a fleck of the white powder, and it knocked him out, right?
Yeah.
Put him into cardiac arrest. But let's talk about Operation Last Mile and Overdrive. The DEA's Operation Last Mile tracked the Jalisco and Sonora cartels distribution networks across the country. In total, the major operation, which included countless law enforcement agencies from the local to federal levels, included 1,436 investigations and resulted in 3,337 arrests. So they're fighting it, but that's a drop in the bucket, right?
Yeah.
The DEA seized, during this operation, the DEA seized nearly 44 million fentanyl pills, right? And a quarter of one of those will kill you. Over 6,500 pounds of fentanyl powder, which if y'all don't know, pill presses are readily available, and you take the powder and you press out your own pills. And more than 91,000 pounds of methamphetamine, 8,497 firearms, and over $100 million in cash, right? And in 2023, law enforcement agencies within 150 miles of the border conducted nearly 600 bulk cash seizures. Remember, I told y'all the money's going back across, right? And I've seen the documentaries, like they can't even do anything with all the cash. Like the rats are eating millions and millions of dollars of cash in places they haven't stored. Yeah. And what are you gonna do with it? Yeah. You go and get it back, but I mean, it's not like you can spend billions of dollars worth of $20 bills.
That's right.
So, but most of the bulk cash seizures 2023 were executed in Arizona, California, Texas, and New Mexico. Now, moving forward, the DEA has the Sonora and Jalisco cartel members in its scope with this new Operation Overdrive. The DEA's top operational priority is to relentlessly pursue and defeat the 2 Mexican drug cartels that are primarily responsible for driving the current fentanyl poison epidemic in the United States. And the operation puts resources into the U.S. most violent and overdose-plagued cities to target the violent dealers who kill thousands of Americans every week with fentanyl and weapons. So let's go back into history, bro. I know you're a history buff. I'm a history buff, but you go back to, oh, come on, man. Pablo Escobar.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he started from nothing and rose up and built it. And finally we got pissed off and went after him. Right. And ultimately got him after he did everything else. But what happens is when you get him, you create a vacuum.
Yeah.
People are not going to quit selling dope. And so now they're finally going after the two top cartels that are responsible for all this carnage. And look, they're making billions and they don't care. It's all about the dollar. Right. And they're murdering tons and tons of people in broad daylight in Mexico and everywhere else. But here's the deal. They go get them. And when they get them, somebody else is going to step in and fill the void. Hey, ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone support and supplement. It's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts to spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
Yeah, and you know, people like Pablo Escobar, who the city that he lived in, he would buy them playgrounds.
Oh, yeah.
He would build them soccer fields.
He ran for political office.
Yeah, he would donate money to their schools. So they love him.
Well, when he got one of the times he got arrested for like blowing up the fucking Supreme Court and shit.
Yeah,
they were like, dude, you got to do some prison time. He built his own prison.
Yeah,
and for real, he had all the prostitutes and giraffes and shit and all that. And Then they found out he was violating all this stuff, so he escapes again and whatever, and they ended up shooting him to death on that rooftop. But I mean, it doesn't matter. It's never going to stop. My concern is it used to be cocaine back then in the 80s, and now it's all this. What's coming next? You know, like that zombie drug thing they got out now.
That's horrible.
I don't want to get fucked up that bad.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to look. Two of my favorite shows probably in history. One of them is a movie. It's called Reservoir Dogs.
Yes.
It's a great movie.
Excellent movie.
And then one is an HBO series called Boardwalk Empire.
Yes.
I loved Boardwalk Empire, and I was almost in a state of depression when that show ended. It was so good. And one thing in common with both of these shows is that they have one of my favorite actors, which is a guy named Steve Buscemi.
Right.
Well, a man has been arrested in New York City on suspicion of sucker punching actor Steve Buscemi in the face earlier this month in Manhattan.
Right.
A guy by the name of Clifton Williams was arrested Friday afternoon. He's 50 years old, and he's accused of the second-degree assault. Buscemi, 66, of Boardwalk Empire fame, was in the Kips Bay neighborhood when a stranger approached him and just punched him in the face. The actor was said to have been texting on his phone and leaned up against the wall. It was around noon when he was attacked, and he sustained bruising, swelling, and bleeding to his left eye. He dotted his eye, as we would say.
Left a little mark.
Yeah, so Buscemi's publicist had said the actor, while physically fine, was incredibly sad that the attack occurred while walking the streets of New York. On Wednesday, police named Williams as a suspect and released multiple photos, and he was caught the same day. Buscemi, who many people don't know, is a former New York City firefighter.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he starred in the HBO show Boardwalk Empire, and he was the second actor from the TV show attacked this spring in Manhattan. Sounds like something might be related here.
We've seen it, though, these people, I mean, you did one on Real Life for Crime Daily before. Dude walking with a baby, and the motherfucker just runs up and knocks him out.
Just runs up. And this particular guy, he almost seems like he's targeting Boardwalk Empire stars.
Yeah.
And this is a big dude. This is not somebody you want walking up and punching you in the face.
Yeah,
he's very muscle bound.
Yeah.
And shout out to Yahoo News for reporting on that. But how dare you hit Steve Buscemi in the face?
Armageddon was another one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
He was a super smart guy,
good.
and they're pretty sure they're not going to come back and they're negotiating the deal.
Yeah.
And he says, and I don't want to pay federal taxes again, ever.
He's a great actor.
But he's been in a lot of great shit, but I did it on, I think it was the Daily Show last week. Oh, yeah, it was a sheriff in Florida. It was like, you take your lawlessness, somewhere else. You come from these cities where people are walking up and sucker punching people for no reason.
Right.
And he said, but don't bring that shit down here because we're going to put your ass in jail.
Yeah.
But I don't, what the fuck has the world come to, bro? Bro, if you fucking hit me, you better hope you knock me the fuck out.
Hell yeah.
If I have a pistol, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
I'm too old probably to fight them now. I'm not too old to run them down, but I would definitely sling some lead at them.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's crazy.
I mean, people just, you don't know who you're messing with. One day that guy's going to punch the wrong person in the face.
Yeah, well,
and they're going to light him up like a Christmas tree.
Yep. Well, speaking of punches, and I'm pretty much a huge NASCAR fan. I watch the races every weekend. And this past weekend, they had the All-Star race, right? Well, check this out. Now, shit gets a little heated when they're driving around the tracks and stuff happens. But there's only 20 cars. Normally, there's 42 or 43 in a race. But you have to qualify to make this race. And it's for $1 million. And they only run like 200 laps. So let me tell you what happened last night or on Sunday night, y'all. The NASCAR All-Star race at the legendary North Wilkesboro Speedway, North Carolina, brought fireworks on and off the track Sunday night. Kyle Busch, who's been there forever, y'all, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who, if I'm not mistaken, I think Ricky dates Danica Kirkpatrick. Y'all remember her?
Oh, I remember Danica.
The Ricky Stickhouse Jr., Well, they got into a brawl in the garage area after the race. Now, Stenhouse waited for Bush to get to the back after the number 8 finished in the 10th place in the race. The two were then seen exchanging words when, and I saw the video, Stenhouse hit that motherfucker.
Come on.
I mean, it wasn't a sucker punch. They were in each other's face, and he reared back with his right, and he decked him for real. So the two had to be separated, and that's a nice way of saying it was a fucking melee. Look, they had both sides, and crew members diving in and trying to get in bushes.
And tire changers were like, yeah.
It was fucking on. Those type of dudes are athletes. They're like football players, and the jackmen or this now. It's not like it used to be back when I started watching in the early 90s. It took like 28 seconds for a pit stop. Now they can do a pit stop in like 13 seconds.
That's crazy.
But they have all these athletes in it. Well, there's only one, believe it or not, they changed the tire. There's only one fucking bolt that holds the whole tire on.
Wow.
One bolt, so you don't have to do all the different lugs. And I've seen them when the tire comes off, right? But anyway, so look, it's a fucking melee, y'all. I mean, talking about they're whooping each other's ass and fighting and doing whatever, but they got them separated. But the rivalry started on the first lap of the 200-lap event, and Bush and Stenhouse were among those riding 3 wide. That means, y'all, the track is narrow, and pretty much when you go 3 or 4 wide, you're going to wreck. But Bush was on the outside and scraped the wall, while Stenhouse was running in the middle. And Bush then retaliated and hit Stenhouse from behind and pitted him into the wall. Fucked him up, put him out of the race. I mean, it smashed his car. I'm tired of getting run over by everybody, but that's what everybody does. Everybody runs over everybody to pass everybody, Bush told Fox Sports, and remember, Bush is the one who got hit. Stenhouse waited for Bush, and that was when the fight occurred. So I'm not sure why he was so mad, Stenhouse told Fox Sports. I shoved it 3 wide, but he hit the fence and kind of came off the wall and ran into me. I don't know. When I was talking to him, he kept saying that I wrecked him. Definitely built up frustration with how he runs, his mouth all the time about myself. I know he's frustrated because he doesn't run near as good as he used to. And the Bush used to win a lot of championships. Yeah. So the Joey Logano won the race in the 22 car. He said, we were so fast. We came here before for testing, ran over 800 laps and really figured out what was going on. But let me tell you what happened. I saw it, and I've replayed it several times. They got together, and Stenhouse was waiting on him. Stenhouse was the only one out of the whole race that got smashed. And look, I mean, they got in each other's face. And Stenhouse is much younger than Bush and pretty physically fit, and he smacked the shit out of him. But afterwards, they interviewed him, and he was like, they were like, would you want to continue this with him or whatever? He said, if he wants to have a charity fight, we'll do it for the NASCAR Foundation, and other than that, I ain't got nothing for that dude.
Well,
I beat your ass for money.
All they had to do was get Robert Duvall to explain what rubbing is.
Racing is rubbing.
He didn't bump you, he didn't wreck you, he rubbed you.
Rubbing is racing.
That's it.
Yeah, that was
classic line from Days of Thunder.
If you watch the video, you can't get in somebody's face like that and not expect to get punched.
That's right. That's right. Anyway. Well, it's time for another According to the Affidavit segment.
According to the Affidavit.
And we got a good one today. We're going to tell you about an incident that happened in the free state of Florida.
There you go.
And you can add soiled adult diapers to the long list of strange items used as weapons in Florida. That's right.
Soiled adult diapers.
That's right. Investigators say that Damian Caston began arguing with his brother on just basically ongoing domestic issues. And Caston is paralyzed but ambulatory by using his upper body. So I'm taking that to mean he's paralyzed from the waist down.
Right.
So after Caston damaged walls inside the home, he becomes aggressive towards his sibling and a witness and attempted to throw items at them. At that point, Caston's brother and the witness lifted and carried the defendant outside for the safety of all and called 911. Yeah. Caston then removed his soiled diaper and threw it at his brother.
Oh, my God. That's fighting.
Struck him in the chest. Remnants of the diaper were seen on the front porch and the stomach of the victim. No weapon was seized by police other than the diaper. So he was charged, obviously, with domestic battery and some other things. And in the affidavit, the police officer wrote, actually and intentionally touching or striking his brother and cohabitant against their will. The defendant threw a diaper at the victim, striking him in the center of his torso. The diaper contained urine and other feces. The victim and defendant were in a verbal argument about ongoing domestic issues, and during the altercation, the defendant, who is paralyzed from the waist down, became aggressive toward the victim and witness, attempting to throw items at them. The victim and witness lifted and carried him outside, as we told you, and they called 911. So, hey, when you're paralyzed from the waist down, you do whatever you can grab. And I guess they pissed him off.
Literally were pissed on the wow. I don't ever want to get gas. Yeah, in prison gas with an adult diaper.
So that was a little different one, but one that I definitely wanted to bring you
straight from
the affidavit itself. According to the affidavit. Yep. Oh yeah.
Yes, indeed.
A Thirsty Thursday kinky crime.
Thirsty Thursday kinky crime. Now, y'all, you know, most of the kinky crimes we do are somewhat funny if you have a sense of humor. But today, I'm going to tell you about one that is not funny at all. And it's about a guy named John Arthur Bennett, who was born on April the 10th, 1936. And guess what? He died on April the 13th, of 1961. But he was a U.S. Army soldier who remains the last person to be executed after a court-martial by the United States Armed Forces. Now, that's a big deal. You got military code of justice that soldiers are subject to that we aren't. And I'm going to tell you what happened. See, he was a private in the Army. He was 19 years old, and he was convicted of the rape and attempted murder of an 11-year-old girl in Austria. And despite last-minute appeals for clemency and pleas to President John F. Kennedy by her family, and being the victim's family, to spare his life, the President Kennedy said, fuck him. And guess what? Bennett was hanged at Fort Leavenworth in Kansas in 1961, right?
Hanged in 1961.
That's military shit. And Fort Leavenworth, everybody knows that's where the gold's kept. George Thomas, y'all go listen to that Bloody Angola episode. It's about C. Murder and C. Murder being convicted of murdering George's younger brother, Stephen. But he did his time in the military prison, or part of it, at Leavenworth. Yeah. And he said when he went to a regular prison to do the rest of the charges, he's like, man, what you bitches crying about? This is easy. This is easy time compared to Leavenworth, because they treat you like you're still in the military. But anyway, he got hung, and it was for rape, which is a kinky crime, even though it wasn't a funny one, y'all.
Yeah.
So there's your kinky crime for Thursday.
1961.
Hung him.
I didn't think they were still hanging back then. Wow.
I think that's different rules for the military.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. Well,
hey, y'all. Changing my wardrobe from summer to fall, it's never easy. Luckily, Quince offers timeless and high-quality items I adore. Ensure my wardrobe stays fresh and I don't blow my budget. And there's nothing easier than going to Quince and choosing these high-quality items, like cashmere sweaters from $50, pants for every occasion, washable silk tops, and so much more. The best part? All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes, and I love that. I got the stainless steel Link Apple Watch band
for $59.90. It's heavy duty. It's awesome. And it's like $100 less than I could find anywhere else. And I also got a 100% organic cotton fisherman quarter zip up sweater. The color is alabaster. Man, I can't wait to wear that this fall. And Cindy got the Mongolian cashmere boat neck sweater in heather gray. And I'm telling you, these are classic pieces at a fraction of the price. Make switching seasons a breeze with Quince's high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/RLRC for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/RLRC to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/RLRC. You'll thank me later. Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glace, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, and all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We've got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin-baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/real life. That's GOBBLE.com/real life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had.
You're going to like this one, Woody Overton.
Lay it on me.
May 23rd, 1934.
This day in crime.
On this day in crime, something happened.
Yeah.
Notorious criminals Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow are shot to death by Texas and Louisiana State Police in Louisiana.
Damn sure were.
Bonnie Parker met the charismatic Clyde Barrow in Texas when she was 19, and her husband was serving time in jail for murder. Shortly after they met, Barrow was in prison for robbery, and Parker visited him every day and smuggled a gun into prison to help him escape. But he was soon caught in Ohio and sent back to jail. When Barrow was paroled in 1932, he hooked up with Parker, and the couple began a life of crime. Yep. After they stole a car and committed several robberies, Parker was caught by police and sent to jail for 2 months. Released in 1932, she rejoined Barrow, and over the next 2 years, the couple teamed with various accomplices to rob banks and stores across 5 states, Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, New Mexico, and Louisiana. To law enforcement agents, the Barrow gang, including Barrow's childhood friend Raymond Hamilton, Henry Methan, and his brother Buck and his wife Blanche, among others, were cold-blooded killers who didn't hesitate to kill anyone that got in their way, especially police or sheriff's deputies. Among the public, however, their reputation as dangerous outlaws were mixed with a romantic view of the couple as Robin Hood-like folk heroes. The fame was increased by the fact that Bonnie was a woman, an unlikely criminal, and by the fact that the couple posed for playful photos together, which were later found by police and released by media. Police almost captured the famous duo twice in 1933 with surprise raids on their hideouts in Joplin, Missouri, and Platte City, Missouri. Buck Barrow was killed in a second raid, and Blanche was arrested. But Bonnie and Clyde escaped again. In January of 1934, they attacked a prison farm in Texas to break Hamilton out of jail, shooting several guards with machine guns and killing one. It's crazy to think that they actually broke people out of jail. Texas prison officials hired a retired Texas Ranger by the name of Captain Frank Hammer as a special investigator to track down Parker and Barrow, and after a 3-month search, he traced the couple to Louisiana, where Henry Methan's family lived. Before dawn on May 23rd, Hammer and a group of Louisiana and Texas lawmen hid in the bushes along a country road outside of town. When Parker and Barrow appeared, the officers opened fire, killing the couple in a hail of bullets. All told, the Barrow gang was believed responsible for the deaths of 13 people, including 9 police officers. Right. Parker and Barrow are still seen by many as romantic figures. However, especially after the success of the 1967 film Bonnie and Clyde, starring Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty. Shout out to the History Channel for that. And
I saw
there you have that.
The images, when they say a hail of bullets, they fucked them up. They Swiss cheesed them, and supposedly
Gatling guns.
And shotguns and everything else. But they weren't taking any chances with them because they knew they were cold-blooded killers, and they were going to kill.
And they like to kill police,
kill and get away, or they were going to die. But it's Louisiana State Police headquarters in Baton Rouge on Independence Boulevard, where I worked for so many years, and now I never saw it. But they told me that the actual vehicle is in the basement. The vehicle that they shot him up in.
Yeah.
And they said that motherfucker's got like 1,000 bullet holes in it.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, they just Swiss cheese the shit out of it.
There's actually a marker in the town that this actually occurred in Louisiana. It's in North Louisiana, y'all.
Way north, yeah.
And
almost Arkansas.
Yep. And in this town, there's just a marker, and it says this is the spot where Bonnie and Clyde were killed.
Right. But back then there was no social media and all that. They were public enemy number one, but it all got around by word of mouth and newspapers.
Yeah,
I mean, shit. There was maybe radio in some places, but they were legends. And
man, when
the Robin Hood stuff, I mean, they also took pictures with regular people, and the regular people hit them out.
Yeah,
they were like trying to fight against the man, but the motherfuckers were cold-blooded killers.
Oh, yeah, they were. And when you're busting people out of prison, you're going into the prison with machine gun.
Killing people. I actually think they were on a work detail in the field, but they rolled up on them and killed the guards that were there. And they, all the prisoners that once he ran, and they got their guy and got in the vehicle and left. Yeah. Stone cold killers.
That's right.
And you can only run so long from the long arm of the law. And that retired Texas Ranger was appointed by the governor of Texas because I think it was a female. They were sick of the shit that they were doing in Texas, and they were getting away with it. She was like, "Fuck you, bring him back. He'll kill him."
Yeah,
and she was like, "Kill him," and they did it,
and he made it happen.
He did.
That was May 23rd.
May 23rd,
1934.
A lot of years ago.
That was a lot of years ago.
Been a minute,
but some of those crimes, they just surpass the test of time, man. Bonnie and Clyde will be talked about forever.
Bonnie and Clyde, and then Dillinger,
and
ones like that were made famous back in the day because that was actually, there was no war going on. They would show it in the motion picture shows in the beginning, and it's just sensationalized. You got your regular people coming out of the Great Depression and shit, in Prohibition and all that. They're like, damn, I wish I could live like that.
Yeah,
I'd go rob banks and just be a badass.
And you can go to these museums of the strange, I guess you could say, and a lot of them will have like vehicles from, you mentioned the vehicle Bonnie and Clyde, but there's museums that have like Ted Bundy, his VW Bug. I forget what museum had. It might be one in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, but it's so much in pop culture that people actually buy these vehicles, and you pay money and you go in and you can actually pose by Ted Bundy's actual VW Bug, or
you can hang out with it.
And look, I'm a true crime fan. I would want to check that out.
Speaking of one, you've been to the Museum of Death in New Orleans?
I have not. I have some friends that have been there, but I haven't been there.
When CrimeCon was in, a lot of our fellow podcasters went, my friends and shit. And they said it was just phenomenal. I mean, they had all the strangest death shit. And wow. Like I'm looking at their website right now. It says, "Welcome to the Museum of Death. Enter at your own risk." And it's got a skull.
Oh, wow.
And it's got all kinds of shit. Death, the world famous stuff like Jim's talking about. And if you're in New Orleans, go give it a look. I'm gonna go next time we go.
I've been in Marie Laveau's place over there in New Orleans.
Yeah. I did too. I've been there several times. It's on a side street off in between Bourbon and Canal or wherever.
Yeah.
So,
been there.
That's it. And it's summertime. People are traveling. Are y'all sitting out by the pool? What we got? Labor Day is when.
Labor Day coming up.
Is that this Monday?
Hold on one second. Woody's going to check for y'all and get you on the, because we don't keep track of holidays much anymore with all the work we got going on. But
it's
when
it's
is
not Labor Day. I meant Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
I always get those confused. Memorial Day.
It's got to be coming up.
It's coming like this next week. Yeah, it's today's date is what?
Today is the 23rd.
So it's on Monday.
Okay.
So
there you go.
Well, we might drop something for y'all for Monday, or might not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know y'all be enjoying yourself.
That's right.
So we love and appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for liking and listening and sharing. We really, really, really do appreciate y'all. Send us your stuff.
Send us your stuff. We'll cover it. We appreciate it.
Ideas for segments, whatever. We want to play what you want to hear, as long as it's true crime related.
That's right.
And
that's it. I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Everton,
your host of Real Life, Real Crime Daily. Peace.